Hey, what's up everyone? It's Press the Best from PTB Reviews, and guess what I got for you today? That's right, a 10-pack of HB2 pencils. These pencils are made by the fan favorite Dixon, and this line is called the Economiser. This pencil is claimed to be made of 100% wood and quality tested by Dixon. I tried to do some research online to see how not only Dixon, but any company quality tests their pencils, and couldn't seem to find anything. If you have any guesses or inside information, please share in the comments below. I really wanted to be smart and tell you what HB2 really means, but then I realized that I didn't know myself. So I did some research and this is what I came up with. As you can see from this graph, found on everyone's favorite website, pencils.com, there are two grading systems used to measure the hardness of the core and the blackness of the mark. So the first one we have here is the numerical graphite scale. The first graphite grading scale is a numerical scale. Using this scale, the hardness of the core is often marked on the pencil. Look for a number such as 2, 2.5, or 3. The higher the number, the harder the writing core, and the lighter the mark left on the paper. As the pencil core becomes softer, through the use of lower proportions of clay, it leaves a darker mark as it deposits more graphite material on the paper. Softer pencils will dull faster than harder leads and require more frequent sharpening. Now here's the scale we'll be using for the Dixon Economiser, the HB graphite scale. The second graphite scale is known as the HB scale. Most pencil manufacturers outside of the US use this scale using the letter H to indicate a hard pencil. Likewise, a pencil maker might use the letter B to designate the blackness of the pencil's mark, indicating a softer lead. The letter F is also used to indicate that the pencil sharpens to a fine point. Historically, pencil makers also use combinations of letters to tell us about the graphite. A pencil marked HB is hard and black, a pencil marked HH is very hard, and a pencil marked BBB is really, really black. Today, however, most pencils using the HB system are designated by a number such as 2B, 4B, or 2H to indicate the degree of hardness. For example, a 4B would be softer than a 2B and a 3H harder than an H. Now, if we go back to the chart, you can find where our pencil at hand sits in comparison to other swatches. If you also have some free time, I suggest taking a look at these recommended posts, such as pencil history, how pencils are made, and of course, forest conservation. Because it's very important to keep the forests alive, or else we wouldn't have pencils like this to write on. And if we didn't have pencils, we couldn't get our stories out. And if we couldn't get our stories out, then, So this statement right here has been bothering me for a while now. The pencil people since 1795. Let me bring you through a quick history lesson to explain why. The Dixon Ticonderoga Company was founded by Joseph Dixon in 1827, and Dixon himself was born in 1799. That should raise a red flag right there. The number 1795 comes from a company named the Bryn Mawr Corporation, which is a banking company that was founded in 1795. Dixon and Bryn Mawr merged together at some point, and this is how they justify this claim, I guess. If anyone does any further research and finds any holes in my theory, please leave a comment below, as I'm very curious for the truth. Side note, Joseph Dixon is also responsible for the mirror involved in a camera's viewfinder, a double crank steam engine, and printing money in a way that cannot be counterfeited. So I've been keeping my personal Economiser close by for 3 months, using it as my main pencil, and here's the result. As you can see, the barrel has taken some damage after months of wear and tear, but this is to be expected from pencils of this quality. The paint still holds a bit of a shine, but nothing compared to a new Economiser. The ferrule has become loose, but nothing noticeable, as long as you don't play with it. The eraser has worked itself down about halfway, so I'd say another 3 months or less until it reaches its last few swipes. Now for the most important part, the lead. You can see how the wood is darkening and appears very aged. The pencil no longer sharpens nicely and instead ends up tearing off chunks at a time. The Economiser still writes at an acceptable level, but that nice, smooth, lead to paper feel is no longer there. I wouldn't mind writing a birthday card with this, but for any lengthy report or school assignment, I'd suggest retiring this guy and reaching for another pal from your pack of 10. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I found it necessary to see how the Economiser performs in low light, so we took it outside on a cold December night here in Canada. So you can see that the pencil still holds its shape, even under cold conditions, and because of its glossy paint, you won't have to worry about losing it if it happens to drop on the ground. I would suggest getting a pencil grip from Amazon. 1, because these do exist, and 2, as the temperature lowers, the hard barrel of the Economiser can start to feel uncomfortable. I've left a link to these pencil grips down in the description below. I put the Economiser through the standard sharpening test to see how many quarter turns it would take to get the tip to an ideal level. While sharpening, shavings kept getting stuck in the blade, and I also had this feeling that the lead would snap at any moment. The sharpener I used is not cheap, yet not luxurious either, so I would assume this is the same experience most lead users will have. As you can see, it finally takes me 14 quarter turns until I got the point just the way I liked it. It's not the fastest of pencils, but what it lacks in speed, it definitely makes up for in quality. Pushing on the lead, there were no signs of the lead being weak and waiting to break. This is definitely a pass in my books. We put the Economiser through a speed test to see how well it would do. The standard sentence for this test is, Paul the ball went to the mall, got kicked in the balls in the halls of Paul's Mall. I'll let you see how it goes. "33 seconds it took. Fairly average, I'd say. Now we're going to do the same with an average, everyday pencil that your moody supply teacher in the 4th grade would have given to you. Wow, 35. I wasn't expecting that one. Not only does the Economiser provide superior quality and shading, but it will also shed some valuable writing time, letting you get back to the things you love most. Now we'll go through with the eraser test. Today we're using the handy 2 a.m. to 7 p.m. technique, and trying not to go over the same spot more than twice. The eraser on the Economiser feels very efficient and valuable, but personally, I've always had a thing against pink erasers. You want your sheet to be white, so I always preferred a white eraser. Now that we're done with this, we'll switch to Miss Becky's pencil and see how the eraser compares. Looking at them side by side, Economiser on top, Becky's on the bottom, I would have to say that the Economiser slightly loses on this one. I have no definite reason as to why, but I'd like to think it's my theory on pink erasers. We really need to get rid of them. Water resistance has taken all the hype this year, with waterproof phones, cameras, smartwatches, and so on. So you know we had to put the Economiser through a solid water test. It doesn't mention an IP level on the package or anywhere on the website, which means it's not officially water resistant. I was very doubtful about the Economiser passing this test, but as you can see, it manages to pull through. Other than a few water drops on the page, you would never be able to tell that the sentence was written with a wet pencil. For our drop test, we let go of the pencil at 6 feet, which is an above average pencil drop distance. Observing the pencil after the drop, everything seemed to have stayed intact nicely. The lead is still very stable, the ferrule hasn't come loose, no noticeable signs of chipping from the paint, and the very soft eraser only helped with reducing impact with the ground. So in conclusion, the Economiser does stand out as one of the top everyday pencils. It passed all of our tests with flying colors while also keeping a traditional yet appealing design. The only department I would take points away from is with the pink eraser, but this is more of a subjective value. Let me know down below what you think about pink erasers, and let's see if anyone else shares the same issue with me. I would recommend this brand of pencil to anyone working in a professional setting, attending school, jotting down random notes, and perhaps even artists. It's a very versatile pencil. For this review, I used a 10-pack, but you can actually pick up a 20-pack on Amazon for $1.97 Canadian. You just can't beat that price. I put a link down below. I hope you both enjoyed and found this review useful. If so, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so that I can continue giving quality reviews on the most useful products. As always, this is Preston from Press the Best Reviews, and stay tuned for the next review.